It says that you're a thought leader dropping truth bombs about modern dating.
That's an old bio, but yes.
What are the truth bombs?
I dropped several tonight. You asked me to rate the room. I did. That's one. You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, what are the truth bombs that you drop?
I mean, I dropped one earlier. I said there's an objective mating value score, and it's decided by who you're wanting to mate with. That's a truth bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common knowledge, right?
Well, apparently not, because we just spent 40 minutes arguing it. So apparently it's not common knowledge for everyone.
Well, no, I mean, it is, because by your own admission, you just basically said that they're lying through their teeth, right? Like, they do believe it.
Yeah,
They're
common
just
knowledge
full of
isn't
shit.
always common sense, and some people don't abide by common sense. So just because it's common knowledge doesn't mean that everyone's operating by it.
Well, give me another truth bomb.
I gave one earlier. I said if you had a 35-year-old woman and a 25-year-old woman side by side with all the same characteristics, the younger one would be more appealing for obvious answers. For obvious reasons, rather.
How's that a truth bomb?
Because it's uncomfortable.
If you say all else
it's
equal, will a
uncomfortable.
guy go for the hotter chick? If you had a clone of a chick who was 25 and one, you cloned her off of a chick who was 40, wouldn't they go for the 25-year-old? Wouldn't every human being basically say yes?
No.
No?
Some people don't want to believe that.
No, I think that most people would believe that. I think that they just kind of lie, right? They're just not telling the truth.
Well, that's why
Just
it's called a
kind of
truth
the women
bomb.
in the room, right?
But that's why it's called a truth bomb, because it's uncomfortable. People don't want to hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious what the truth bombs were that you dropped, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, they're things that some people don't want to agree are true because they're uncomfortable. They would have to mean that there is such a thing as certain people being superior in the mating market.
Yeah, I just don't feel like that's, I don't know. That just seems like it's common knowledge to me. I was hoping for here's some things. So the reason I'm getting at this, because I was hoping, you have all this experience as a dating coach, you've been in this market for a long time. I'm hoping that I can hear some new stuff, right? I've been hearing this type of, kind of, women like taller men, that kind of thing. It's just very basic stuff.
Well, you're
for
married.
years and years.
You're married, so
Warlord
you're
69
not.
you donated $69. To the Lebanese female, do you think females have easy here in the USA or in Lebanon?
Easier how? Easier how?
They have way faster than women in Lebanon.
Is he asking, are they easier or do they have it easier?
Do they have it easier?
Oh, do they have it easier when it comes to dating?
I guess you could say that about anything.
If I had to give a very generalized answer, I would say no, they don't have it easier because men in the Middle East are still, by large, more traditionally masculine and dominant. But that is a very big generalization, and Lebanon is a very small country. So I don't really know if it's a fair
donated
comparison.
$25. Do you find deformed men beautiful too because you yourself have also sustained major head trauma?
Wait.
Oh wait, but I wanted to say one more thing, Andrew. Andrew, clearly you're already married and happily, it seems. So these aren't truth bombs for you because you've already got it figured out. I mean, you figured it out. You cracked the code. But there are so many men in your position who have not, and therefore revelations like this are actually revelations to them.
So what would distinguish you from other dating coaches?
Well, for one, when it comes to helping people, I don't just help people feel better. I help them become objectively more attractive based on...
Don't all dating coaches do that?
No.
They don't?
No, some...
Isn't that just basic looks maxing?
It's not just looks, though. Women don't just care about looks. That's one category of what women care about. If we really had to boil it down, I've actually codified what women care about, and it is a 5-category assessment that
What is it?
women universally agree on. It's called the mating value score. So regardless of where a woman lives in the world, she more or less wants the same thing. Now, whether she can have that is a different story, but most women, if not all straight women, want more or less the same thing.
Okay, what's that?
Well, to use a story from the client earlier that I shared, he had everything, but he was extremely insecure when he would approach him, and he was very nervous. So he checked off a lot of the boxes, but when it came to actually how he positioned himself, he came off as insecure. And every woman on this table, I believe, or at least most of the women on the table, agreed that they wanted a man who was confident. So most women want a man who makes them feel safe, and a man that they're attracted to, that they can respect, and a man who makes more money. I think most women do want that. Whether they can have that is a different story, but I do think that most women want a man who makes more money, is stronger than them physically, is dominant. His default is dominant, and
That just sounds like basic red pill talking points to me.
well, that's because it's the truth. But
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what sets you apart from every other date, because I debate
Yeah,
with
actually, no, it's a good
dating
question.
coaches all the time, right?
So-
And I debate within the red pill sphere with these red pillars all the time as well. And what you're saying here is just really functionally basic stuff that I would hear from any of these coaches, right? So none of them are going to say, women like it when you're a weak bitch, right? None of
Yeah,
them are
but
going to
that
say,
doesn't-
they like it when you're poor. None of them are going to say that.
But that's not feedback. So what sets me apart is that I get real women to give real feedback to men. I'm not just talking at them for 3 months.
Ulysses the
I'm-
Pagan donated $25. Boiling it down, your profession sounds more like an end run around the law and is actually an escort service.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but like,
I mean,
there's a
What's-
guy on YouTube I used to engage with all the time. His name is Alex, Playing with Fire channel, and I liked him okay, right? He's a nice enough guy. But I mean, this stuff that you're talking about, this would be like very, very basic stuff he would just start with before
But-
getting into the kind of the meat and potatoes of
but
it.
it's not always basic, because I've worked with men who are 6 feet, make 6 figures, and yet they don't fare well with women because, for example, they don't know how to hold a conversation, or they can't flirt, or they frankly don't even know that they're attractive, so they don't present with confidence. It's more nuanced than that. So just because it's common knowledge doesn't mean that it's always common sense. And what
But you're
sets
talking
me
about
apart,
charisma, right?
charisma is one of it, is a part of it. Social proof is another. So like earlier, someone was saying if Brian approached Andrea, like what would she say? The first question that popped up in my head was, does she know that he's the host of this podcast or not? Because that matters instinctually to women. He's got a lot of social proof because he's got millions of subscribers. So he's clearly proven himself.
Social proof that he's charismatic.
No, it means that he's got high status.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're the head of a podcast, you would be charismatic, right?
Potentially, yeah.
I don't know
But
how
it's not.
how
You
could
can, there's
be the
so
head of
many.
podcast,
There's a
not be
lot of charismatic podcast speakers who do not have 4.4 million subscribers,
And there's also podcast speakers who have 4.4 million
who are not
subscribers
charismatic.
charismatic.
Exactly.
Name one.
So
Name
I mean,
one.
I get what you're trying
Hang on,
to
no,
say.
stop. Hey, stop.
Yeah.
Name a podcaster who has 4.4 million subscribers who's not charismatic. I'd like to actually hear one name.
It was just a statement.
Brian
it wasn't
Ellis.
like
Yeah,
a
no, I know,
factual
but can you
data.
name one?
That- I just said it was a statement, not a
I know what you
factual-
just said. Can you answer my question now? Can
No,
you name
I
one?
can't.
Yeah, I didn't think you could because you can't name one, right?
Wait, so just to,
You roll your eyes, but you couldn't answer the question. And you couldn't answer the question because it's stupid. It's actually a stupid statement to say. Some guy has this massive, giant 4.4 million following and has zero charisma. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
I mean-
the reason that I bring this up, the reason that I bring the charisma thing up is because I don't think that could be taught. I think that there's a bunch of people who
That
claim they can
charisma
teach
can't be
men how to
taught?
be charismatic, and I think they're lying to them.
podcast.
I think that
Ooh, I
charisma
greatly
is something which is
disagree.
foundational. You either have the potential for it or you don't.